I don't think I have struggled like I'm struggling now with the emotion sitting on me. Like, all of that is done. I'm so happy. And I think that means I can finish it. I have been writing this book for far too long. We need to type the end. Hi, I'm Marie, I'm a steamy romance author, and in this vlog, you're going to help me finish this book. So, grab your favourite drink, snuggle up, and come be an author with me. The priorities for my author days at the moment is just writing, because I started writing this book on the 7th of May and it's felt really bitty, like I'm just picking bits up, writing and then leaving it sometimes for like weeks at a time. And I can normally write a book and get it sort of start to finish done in a couple of months with some procrastination time built in. 3 months. So this has felt like it's been dragging on a bit too long, and I realised last week when I was doing a bit of writing that I'm really close to finishing. I've got about 2 to 3 chapters left to write, and I've already written an additional 2 to 3 chapters in part of my planning process. So with all of those done, the book's finished. And I just thought, what am I doing? Why am I messing around with this? Just spend time writing. So that's what we're going to be doing together. I've got one scene that I'm in the middle of, so I want to definitely finish that today, then probably get the other scene finished. If I do get time, then what I'm going to do is take my drafted end scene. So in part of my planning process, I literally write the end, which I never used to do, but actually it's been quite helpful these last few books just to know where the end goal is. It's also really nice when you come to the end and you realise you've already written most of it. That's quite a nice feeling. So I'll literally just copy and paste that into the document and then write that epilogue, and then I can type the end. It's probably not all going to get done today, but probably in the next 1 to 2 writing sessions it will be done. So yeah, I want you to come along and see the end of a book, because this has been long drawn out and I'm finally ready to get it finished. I've just realised, because I've left it in the middle of the scene, what I actually need to do is read through what I've already written. And then that will give me a sense of what I've already done, because, let's be honest, I forget what I've written and where I was sort of heading. This time round, I was actually very kind to my future self, and I actually made a note of what I wanted to happen next, which is pretty incredible, because I have left writing scenes sometimes in the middle of a sentence. And that is really mean to my future self, because there is no way my future self can remember what I wanted to say. So yeah, I'm glad I've learned to stop stopping in the middle of a sentence, and just a few notes of actually what I was thinking of, like where this was heading. That was very nice of me. So yeah, I'm going to do a read through and then I'm going to get to writing. Okay, so that was really cute. It's really difficult not to edit whilst you're rereading things, and I did do a few sneaky, that's not how you spell that word, moments. But I do try to not edit it, because that's like a different part of the brain and you just want the creative, get it all out. And then basically what I do is then let the book sit for a while, probably for a few months, and then do a reread, so that it sort of feels fresh and I've forgotten some of the things that have happened, and I get that initial reader's reaction, or more like a reader's reaction rather than the creative reaction, and then I go into edit. But when you do reread something and you see the little wobbly lines to say that's not how you spell that, or is this the right word, or you realise that you've typed something and completely missed out a word, it's really difficult not to just quickly type those in. So I admit I did it, but I'm actually really happy with it, and I do love it when you reread something and you've sort of forgotten. I mean, it's only been a week since I wrote anything on it, but I had forgotten what I'd written, and there's this cute little bus driver character and I hadn't thought him up. He's really cute and he made me laugh, which is good, because, well, I think it's good. I mean, I'm laughing at myself because obviously I wrote it. I write rom-com, so I'm hoping if I can make myself laugh, I can make other people laugh. We'll see. I'm happy with what I've got so far. I'm very happy that I wrote the little note But it is so much nicer when you do stop writing at the end of a chapter or at the end of a scene, because then you can start afresh. Next step, get writing and try to pick up where I left off and go in the direction that I was meant to be going in. And knowing the writing process, it will probably skew a little bit, you know, best plans and all that, but we'll see. I'll get a couple of hours writing in. I'll probably break it up with some sprints. I need to have some breakfast at some point because my tummy is rumbling. I've got half a cup of coffee, so we'll see how long that lasts. And yeah, come and do some writing with me. Wow, so that ended up being more emotional than I was expecting it to be. It's a bit of a reveal chapter. So I finished writing, and I've just, in that session, I mean, I don't actually know how long I was writing for, but like 1 to 2 hours, probably closer to 2 hours. I've written 2,279 words, and it was a reveal scene. So something happens and it's just revealed to the main character, and so it's very emotional. And she's talking to her mum, like her mum finds out about stuff. But yeah, it just felt very heavy towards the end. And when I write scenes like that, like I can feel it, like I feel it in my chest. And it takes a moment to sort of come back to my reality. Oh, it's making me emotional. It takes a moment for me to come back to my reality, like I do absorb my character's emotions. Yeah, I'm happy with how it went, and there was some really nice moments that just sort of came out, that just sort of appeared, like you don't necessarily plan it, that it just happened. Yeah, so I'm happy with it, but yeah, that emotion is just sitting heavy on me now. So this is what writers would call the dark night. I think it's called that. I often get things wrapped around my head. The darkest night, where the character's going through it. And so it's one of the hardest bits to write, because you obviously fall in love with your characters and you don't want them to go through bad stuff, but you also know that they have to go through the bad stuff, and that actually that's life. They have to overcome that stuff to get the happy ending, and the happy ending is so insightless. Just sometimes they just sabotage themselves. Unfortunately, that's what's happening at the moment. But yeah, that the emotion sits heavy on me for a while, and I know the next scene's going to be emotional as well. Oh, I'm really feeling it. So yeah. Oh, hang on. Right, sorry, I'm back, and hopefully a little bit less emotional, although I can still feel it. The next scene is going to be a tough one as well, because she's gonna just cement this decision, and it's self-sabotage basically. But it's one more chapter, really hard chapter to write. Then I've written the other hard chapters already at the end that I can copy and paste in. It feels a bit like cheating now that I say it, because I'm like, oh, that would be, if I had to write them now, I'd think I'd be an emotional wreck. I do feel like I've cheated slightly there, but yeah, those will be copy and pasted in, and then I get to give them their happy ending that they deserve, because they're going to go through it, but they'll get their happy ending. That's what I love about romance. You always know that it will end up happy. Yeah, I write rom-com, so it's, you know, there's a lot of lightness in it, and it's a lot of internal conflict and emotions that causes the issues, rather than, I don't know, I hate it when there's like a mass murderer in a small town. I'm like, this doesn't seem very realistic, and it's not the sort of books that I like to read. I like to escape reality and find that lightheartedness. It's difficult. Yeah, we always know that they will get the happy ending that they deserve, and they will deserve this, for sure. So I'm actually going to head to Starbucks to have a little coffee stop and have something for lunch and as a reward for getting through that, because that was a good writing session. And then hopefully I can get this other scene written. I don't think it will be as long, but yeah, it's going to be a difficult one because it's going to cement it, and she's going to be like, I've chosen my path and this is it. I know best. So yeah, we'll go to Starbucks and then we'll do some more writing. I'm back. That took a lot longer than expected, which I don't know why I'm surprised, because I feel like it always takes longer than expected. But we had a really nice lunch break date, did a little bit of shopping, got some autumn bits, looked at the bookstores obviously, and we're back. I have about 40 minutes left before I have to go on the school run and pick up my 2 boys. So I am going to get started with the next chapter. And that's a wrap. That is all the time I have to do writing. Now I've got to go on to the school run, and I managed 1,000 words of the chapter, so I'm quite happy with that. So I was writing for about 35 minutes. I'm right in the middle of dialogue though, so it's not a great place to stop. But it's one of those things, obviously, I've got to go and pick up the kids from school. I think it's going to be a bit of a shorter chapter than normal, just because I think it's just going to be this short dialogue between the main character and her best friend, and just cementing her thought process, and she's just going to double down on her decision, and it's going to be self-sabotage. Her friend is going to call her out on it, but there's not ultimately anything that she can do. So I don't think it will take me that much longer to get finished, but I think that's going to happen at another time. Fingers crossed I can remember exactly where I leave off. I'll see you shortly for my next writing stint. It is currently Sunday and I have my monthly book club today, which I'm very excited about going to. And this month, the book that I chose was The Forgotten Book Club by Kate Story. And so that's what I'll be going to discuss a little bit later. And I actually really liked it. It's all about a silent book club, which I thought was a very interesting concept, where basically most of the book club is spending time reading, and it's all about this lady who lost her husband and her process coming through grief, finding new friendships and things like that. There was a moment in the middle where I was like, oh, I'm not sure I'm going to finish this, because I thought there was going to be some drama around them wanting to expand the book club, and I was like, I'm not really here, I don't really care. I want the relationships that she's been fostering and all the characters that she'd met in the book club. I was more interested in them. Thankfully for me, the story actually does follow those relationships. So I got back into it, really liked it, and I'm looking forward to talking about it. There was this really interesting concept that really resonated with me, and I love it when those moments like they click with you and you're like, oh, I feel like I really needed to read that. And there's just this moment where one of the characters just suggests that all of our life experiences nestle together like those nesting dolls and create the person that we are today. So that really resonated with me. It was a cute little read, really happy that I picked that one up. Then personally, I read a lot outside of the book club. And what I really wanted was a Halloween fall book. And I was like, I know, I've got this book, which is literally sitting next to my bed on the floor shelf. And I thought, I'll just pick this up. I'd read the other 2 books in this series. But then when I came to read it, I was like, ooh, I don't know whether I want to read that one. So I left it for ages, and now I've just picked it up. Didn't even reread the back or be like, why did I not want to read this one? Yeah, finished it, really liked it because I wanted some Halloween stuff, which is really ironic because do you see what's on the cover? Christmas trees. It's not about Halloween at all. It's Christmas. It's literally got Christmas trees. That didn't work out for me. It was cute. Fitted exactly what I needed, and I'm glad that I completed that series. And then you'd have seen yesterday that we went to Herne Bay and had a cute little pop around the shops, and I found a local bookshop, and I thought I have to go in and have a little look. And I thought I have to support a local bookshop. Like, it must be very difficult to sustain a bookshop. And they had some lovely like special editions that I'd never seen before, like all cloth bound, and I'm obsessed with those. I think it's Penguin, the completely white books with just like the title on the front in red. I don't know, I just think they're stunning. But anyway, I picked up some books. I picked up one book from there, and then I went somewhere else to pick up books as well. So I thought we could do a little book haul. We did find a Works there. They've got a sale on at the moment, and there was a couple of books that I was like, oh, okay. Spent £4 on 3 books. I'm like, the prices are insane. So I picked up The Happy Medium by Sarah Adler for £1. I thought the cover was really cute. It's about a spiritual medium who's a fraudster, has to help out in an actually haunted house. Then the next one is a hardback for £1. It is Summer in the City by Alex Astor. And this is one that I'd seen on Instagram a load, and I'd wanted to pick it up. But now I have the hardback for £1. It literally blows my mind. It's even got the map in the front. I don't even know what it's about. I'm not even going to lie. I didn't even look. I just picked it up because I'd seen it. I thought it's £1. And then the most expensive book from the Works. Oh no, I've just dented the cover. Oh wow. It was really expensive. It was £2. This is A Demon's Guide to Wooing a Witch by Sarah Hawley. And I've actually read... I thought I'd read the first 2. I just scrolled back through my Goodreads history. Oh no, I've got a ding there. I must have picked up a really dodgy copy. Anyway, I thought I read the first 2. I think I've only read the first one. I just think the covers are so cute. That was the most expensive book. It wasn't even the hardback. And then for my extra special bookshop haul, and this really caught my eye, the Vanishing Cherry Blossom bookshop right now. Anything about bookshop is like an auto buy for me. I don't know why, I'm literally obsessed. But this cover is absolutely stunning. I mean, cherry blossoms just make me so happy. All of the cherry blossoms are foiled and they just sparkle in the light, and it's just so beautiful. So this is a Japanese translated book by Takuya Asakura. I hope I've not butchered that. I've probably butchered that. I mean, I butchered the most simplest names, so I'm very sorry if I have. It's about a vanishing bookshop, and it follows over 4 seasons visitors in the bookshop and helping them guide through their life circumstances. And I just thought, oh my God, yes. And just literally was sat on the shelf like this, and I just thought, yep, that is for me. Which is really funny because I really don't like the colour pink. This is very, very pink. But I do love cherry blossoms, so I think that's probably why. It just was like, Come on, how could I not? I came away from a little trip down to the seaside with 4 books unexpectedly, and I am very, very happy. So yeah, in a minute I'll be heading to the book club, and then this week excited to finish writing my book. So yeah, come with me. It is Wednesday, which means it is time to finish this book. But first, we've got to go and do some errands. Seriously, I feel like every week there's been something that I have organised to do on my author days, and I need to stop doing that. It was my nails, it was the car service, it was getting my hair done, and this week it is picking up my new glasses and an exciting little package from the works, which I wasn't expecting to do today, but as I'm out, I might as well go and do it. Then going to come back and we're going to finish this book. Possibly. I'm going to try. There's a small chance that I will manage to finish writing this book, and if not, I will get it done tomorrow. But we will try after we go and get the errands done. Let's go. Also, I've got new jeans on today, and they're very uncomfortable. I hate new jeans. And also, I'm very conscious that my legs are very blue. But does anyone ever get that, where they're concerned about how bright their new clothing is? They're very blue. Anyway, let's go and get these glasses. What do you think? New glasses. This is pair number 1. Then I've got a second pair. There we are. Ta-da! 2 glasses, no scratches. I love them. Now we've got to go to the works. Hello. I went and picked up my new book from the works, which is The Gingerbread Bakery, because I've got all of the other books, and it's got such a beautiful spray date. I had to order it in, and then at the weekend when I popped into the works, there was actually loads there, which was really annoying. But I've got it now, and looking forward to, I probably will leave that a little bit more till Christmas time, because it's more of a Christmas book. So I think I'll leave that closer to Christmas. I picked up a pumpkin spice caramel macchiato from Starbucks, which was really nice. And I've got my breakfast, which is overnight oats with strawberries, nuts and a little bit of honey. And so I finally get to dive into the book where figure out where we left off. So I'm going to do a reread and finish that chapter whilst I have my coffee and my breakfast. I'm done with that chapter. I don't know what it is about the end of this book, but it is emotionally draining. I'm really struggling with the emotions settling so heavy on me. Like it's like I'm physically feeling the emotions. Like I cried last time I was writing it. I feel like I could just sit and just cry. And I'm trying to think whether I've felt like that before writing my other books. Like I've written quite a lot of books now. What one will this be? This one, hang on while I try to do maths. This one would be I feel like I don't know why this is so difficult for me to figure out. I feel like this is the 19th story because I've got some short stories in there and things like that. So this is potentially the 19th darkest night section of a story that I have written. And I don't think I have struggled like I'm struggling now with the emotion sitting on me. I'm writing and I'm living for that moment in time where I'm writing. I'm almost like living their story. But yeah, I managed to finish that chapter, which I'm very happy about. And I think that's like the last chapter that I'm going to have to write from scratch, apart from the epilogue, which I'm like, does that count as a chapter? I mean, it does count as a chapter, but it's the epilogue. But anyway, that ended up being 2,819 words. But today, my word count in that session was 17,000. No, I wish. Oh, my word count was 1,753. The next section is still really heavy. Like really, really heavy. It's going to get heavier. Ooh. But these are the sections that I've already written. Now what I just need to do is strip that out of the document that I've got them sitting in, paste it into my current document that I'm working with, and basically what I'll do is I'll reread everything that I've written and add to it as I go. So the majority of the work is already there, but because I wrote that before even writing anything else, things will likely have changed, or there'll be nuances that I need to sort of edit slightly, or there'll be like recurring themes or something that will pop up because of everything that I've already written that I'll need to sort of embed in these ending scenes. It will definitely be easier and quicker than writing from scratch. I'm expecting the emotions just to sit heavy until I finish this book. Originally in my plan this was going to be like 3 chapters, and I think I only got 2 chapters worth of it. I was really happy when I wrote it, but now I'm going to have to obviously go back and be like, no, I know these characters more, I know what's actually happened, and things, even though I plan stuff, things do change. So yeah, we are so close to finishing. It's 1 o'clock now. I don't think I'll get it finished today. I've probably got about an hour and a half left of writing time. I'm going to swap where I'm sitting. I think I'm going to sit on the sofa for a little bit because I also have to read. And I think it just will feel nice to just be in a different place. It's just literally there. It's not that much of a different place, but it's just there. So I might put some cute autumn lo-fi on, because I love writing with lo-fi on, and I'm all about the lo-fi channels on YouTube that have a really cute picture. So I'm going to find something on that. I've got my autumn decorations on. I might even have my autumn blanket on, just get snuggled and basically finish this story. We're so close. Okay, let's do it. I just wrote 3,000 words exactly. Okay, I didn't write them. I copied and pasted, edited them, added a few, but 3,000 exactly. I just wanted to share that because I don't think that's ever happened. Those 3,000 words are hard. Yeah. It's a heavy. It's heavy. I'm sort of happy with them. I think they probably do need more editing just to make it cohesive and fit. I think there'll probably be some more editing and some changing. Overall, I'm happy with that chapter. One more chapter to go. Let's keep going. And that is another chapter added. That is a long chapter. It is 5,275 words. And I feel like it could be the end. I still have to write the bonus epilogue. And I'm still in two minds as to whether I should add a scene in between this one and the epilogue. I didn't mean bonus epilogue. I just meant epilogue. I don't know whether I'm entirely happy with it, which is shocking to me. That sounds really big-headed. I thought when I wrote it, I was like, perfect ending. Yes, great. I'll just do a few tweaks. And then reading it, I'm like, I'm not sure this is flowing exactly how I want it to flow. So it's in the document. That means that I've done some crazy writing today. So I've got 66,392 words on the document. So that's like just over 8,000 words. Obviously, most of those I'd already written, so it's sort of like not complete word count for today. But it is good progress. I think I'm going to leave it there for today. I think I'm going to let it sit and I'm going to digest it. And then tomorrow my plan is to probably reread as a whole, see how it feels, and then figure out some edits. I think that's the plan. Hello. Good morning. Well, actually, it is almost lunchtime. I had a bit of a late start today just because I had to take my youngest for a blood test, and that was a bit of, that was tough. But that's all done. I've got a little bit of a late start. And what I wanted to do today was read through the 2 chapters that I copied and pasted yesterday. And because when I reread them, I added a little bit to them as I was going through, but I just wasn't 100% happy, and I just wanted to just let the dust settle for a few hours and figure out, why am I not overly happy with them? What can I do to improve them? So I've just been working on the first chapter, and I actually don't think that one's too bad. I don't think that one needs like huge edits or anything like that. The second chapter though, this is the really long chapter. I think it was like 5,000 words. Also, complete side note, yesterday I think I said I wrote 8,000 words in the day. Obviously writing, because I just copied and pasted them. You know, I just added words to the manuscript. That was a complete lie. And my maths was clearly not mathing, because yesterday it was 10,000 words. 10,032 to be exact. So I just thought that's really an important update to have. This second chapter is a lot bigger. And as I was reading, what I did was last night, I read through my initial drafted plot point for the chapter. And actually this was meant to be 2 chapters and it ended up being 1. And I was meant to swap the POV that I was writing in. So I'm writing in the female POV to begin with. And I was meant to swap into the male. And I didn't. And I think I need to swap. I think that's why it's not ringing true. I think it's probably a little bit too long. It's probably a little bit too long as 1 chapter. I mean, I'm not overly fussed by the length. Like, if it feels right, it feels right. But it doesn't feel right. That's the important distinction. It doesn't feel right yet. So what I'm thinking is, because this scene, it's like cementing the bad stuff, her figuring out that actually the road that she put herself on, she actually doesn't want that road, and she ends up doing a bit of a U-turn and goes back to him, and then like the big reveal happens, and then the makeup happens, and that's quite a lot in 1 chapter, all on her POV. And there's a big revelation in this chapter, and I don't think the story should end without us getting his POV reaction to it. So that's why yesterday I was thinking, do I add in another chapter after this point that sort of summarises that? But also I was thinking I can't imagine what that chapter would be. And as I was plotting stuff out, I didn't have another chapter planned because I got that reaction from him already. So I think I need to split this into 2 chapters like I'd originally planned. And I think I probably need to, I hate saying this, I think I need to cut some of the stuff that I've written, which I really don't like doing. And I know there's other authors that will just literally strip back everything they've done and cut stuff. I haven't done that since my first ever book, and I cut like 5 chapters and 4 characters in that book, and I was savage because I needed to be, because it was like the biggest learning curve that I'd had writing. But this one, I think I need to do it, and I think it is best for the story. But it really hurts. That's my next step. I'm gonna sort of do a read through. I think I know the moment it needs to swap POV. I think it's this moment where she's sitting on the dock waiting for him because he is an RNLI lifeboat member and he's on a mission. And I think it needs to swap when she's sitting waiting for him. And then I think from then on, it's a rewrite. Now, I've already written like their conversation and the way it flows. So it might be that I can use some of that, but I think it needs tweaking and I think it needs a lot of editing. So I'm going to read through this first bit, see if I can do small tweaks, see if I'm happy with it, split the chapter, get this second bit written, maybe, and then see how we get on. It sounds like a plan, right? It sounds like I know what I'm doing. I do know, I'm being confident, I do know what I'm doing. I know this is best for the story. I just don't like deleting stuff. I don't know, maybe I'll like just copy and paste it back into a document and it'll be bonus features or something. Like, there's worse problems. There's worse problems. We're gonna do writing. We're gonna fix it. We're gonna make this work. Come and help me, please. Got the epilogue to write, but I've done that adjustment, and just initial reactions, not rereading anything that I've written, I'm happy. I think that was the right decision. There was a whole paragraph that I had to completely cut and I couldn't even swap it into his point of view, which I'm really sad to have lost, but it just didn't make sense. I was just no way. It was like an internal thought process of hers, and there's just no way that I could sort of worm it in. Yeah, that's sadly gone, but it's not gone. I've kept it so that I can refer back to it. It's gonna need editing. Like, I'm not aiming for a perfect draft or anything. That's just unrealistic, and at this stage it's words on the paper that I'm happy with, and then I will edit later. But yeah, I do think that was the right thing to have done. Split up the chapter, add a little bit more, turn the end into his point of view. It just makes a lot more sense. So I don't think I need, as it stands, I don't think I need that extra chapter that I was thinking about. I think it's purely now epilogue time. But I do think the epilogue might run a little bit longer, because I think that can then help tidy up the happily ever after properly. And what I like to do now is, because there's going to be one more book after this in the series, and I like to hint at what that book is going to be about and who it's going to be about. So yeah, I tie that in as well, which is always really exciting. So I'm like, yeah, all the heaviness is gone, all the emotional stuff is done, they're living happily ever after, and I get the fun and excitement of leading into another story. So it's going to be a good one to write. It's not going to be any of this heaviness. I'm not going to be crying. I'm not going to be feeling like, oh my god, this is so difficult. Like, all of that is done. I'm so happy. And I think that means I can finish it in a minute. Hang on. It is 1:45. Probably got about an hour left, and I'm going to make some lunch and write. We are cutting it fine. I might not be able to do it, but I'll be able to write tonight. So it will happen today. It is happening. It is happening today. It might just not happen in this next sprint, but we'll try. I'm going to do myself some toast. I'm going to do a fresh cup of coffee, and then we'll get down to writing. I did it. I finished writing the book. It is quite late. It is for writing. It is 10 to 10. I think I've been writing for about 2 hours maybe on the epilogue, and it's just finished at 71,218 words for the whole story, which is quite short for this series actually, and has been something that I have been worried about, but it is what it is. I think the book is good as it currently stands. I don't think there's necessarily anything that's glaringly obviously missing or that needs to be added. I feel like I've written everything, and then it would just be a case of minor tweaks, making sure it flows, doing a read through at some point in the near future just to make sure that I don't have any glaringly big holes. But yeah, I am done and I am happy, and I'm a little bit gobsmacked. Because I feel like, so I've been writing this since the 7th of May, and it has been an on and off slog, and I really wanted to write this book, and it has been hard and it has been emotional, and it is now done. And I feel like, although it's been such a long time in the making, I feel like all of a sudden I'm like, oh my god, it's just done. I just did it. Which is a complete lie, because it took me ages. So yeah, I am done and I am tired, and I don't really normally write in the evenings anymore. I used to write in the evenings all the time, and now my brain just does not work, and I want to shut down in the evenings and just do nothing, or read or watch TV or, just all the usual stuff. But I did want to finish that book. It was just the epilogue, and I just thought, and actually I think it was only part of the epilogue. But yeah, I'm happy. I feel like I've done good. I had quite a high writing day. What did I end on? 4,826 words written today, and actually written, not just copied and pasted. Yeah, so 71,218 words for the manuscript in total. I really wanted to get it over to the 70,000, so I am glad. And I'm just going to let it sit, top back up, and then the next thing that we're going to be doing, because this train does not stop, the next thing that we are going to be doing is planning a new book. And let me tell you, this is a book I did not want to write, but now I'm really excited. And I think once I have a few days just to sort of decompress and let this settle and sort of say goodbye to these characters, I think I will want to hit the ground running with this new book, because ideas have been flying left, right and centre, and I want to get started on this book. So I think that will be next. So I will see you then on the next vlog to plan writing a whole new book, which is absolutely crazy because I've literally just typed the end. But I will see you then. Happy reading, and I'll see you soon.